For a wild night from 2016 to 2018, Shoemaker went 2-28, a win tonight would give them 7 wins for the season. We're picking up third quarter. Shoemaker up 14-zip. That's Terrence Carter. Hands off to Andre Gephardt. He's gone all the way around to the baseline and to the end zone. Puts the Knights 7 points closer to the Wolves, and they're not stopping there. Carter, a long throw to Michael Mason for the touchdown after the PAT is good. Game is tied at 14, but the Grey Wolves would come back. And right here, Trenton Hudson returns the punt, looking like Deion Sanders back in the prime. Nice play. Ty Bell launches this one downfield to Margaret. Look at that, Curtis. Woo! Wow. PAT good, 21-14. This game went to overtime, and this game actually just went final. Shoemaker wins 27-21.
This week's Game of the Week is sponsored by Baylor Scott and White Health.
All right, Nikki's been out there since the very beginning. She's got a big old smile on her face. Nikki, Shoemaker, a huge win in overtime. Tell us about it.
Guys, that was literally just insane. I was standing here freaking out because I love overtime, but at half, it was 14-0 Shoemaker. But Harker Heights, you got to give it to them. They came out 2 huge touchdowns back to back, but then Shoemaker said, nah, that ain't it. We're going to come back and score. And then Harker Heights came back and scored, tied it at 21 to overtime. But unfortunately, Harker Heights tried to kick a field goal to go up 3 points in overtime, and they shanked it left. Then Shoemaker came out here, scored a touchdown right here, right before my very eyes, and they win this game 27-0. Don't go anywhere, though, because we're going to have head coach Toby Foreman with us for the trophy presentation. Back to you guys.
All right,
so that means Shoemaker gets the host probably next week, and Heights now has to wait to see the final on Belton Midway. We're going to get to that one in just a second.
Yes, because now we do know the outcome of one game in District 12 6A, and let's stay here because we need to see what happened, what's going on with Midway and Belton.
Yeah, if Midway defeats Belton tonight, they get the 1 seed in 6A Division 2. Belton wins. Temple grabs the number 1 seed in 6A Division 2 going into the playoffs as long as they beat Coppers Cove. So let's go to the huge game at Tiger Field tonight. First quarter, Midway is going to make its way down the field. Third down, Jared Moore hands it off to Will Nixon, and the slippery Nebraska commit picks up the first down. Second down now, Long, Moore. The second down and long, Moore is sacked by a swarm of Tigers led by Colby Trovinger. That's third and long now. No problem for the Panthers, though. Moore to Nixon, and he takes care of the rest, gets into the end zone. Extra points good. Midway's up 7-0 early. Go to the big board, 49-0 the final. Belton's out, Heights is in. Heights going to Rockwall next week.
Temple closed out the regular season at home, taking on COPPERAS Cove. Wildcats are hoping to finish the season on a high note before next week's bi-district round. First quarter, Wildcats had just kicked the field goal to tie the game at 10. After trailing early, senior running back Anthony Jackson takes a handoff, goes past that line into the secondary, looking like Steven Jackson,
made it look
the
easy.
old former Rams running back. An easy touchdown, 17-10 Temple. Then Cove with a chance to answer third and goal from the 7. Just a little pitch and catch, but it's dropped. They would have to settle for a field goal. So second quarter, it's Jackson again. What a night he had. Look at that, the moonwalking. Another huge run.
That's
Nobody
a big
to
run.
catch him. Temple with a commanding lead. That was at halftime, and look at this score, 55-17. So Temple was going to roll into the postseason next week.
Yeah, not a great matchup for them next week, though. A cold, windy night at Leo Buckley last night. Yeah, you know, some would say that's good football weather. I'm from San Antonio. I don't. First quarter, Ruse punting. Jerome Ratliff trying to field it for the Lions. It's muffed. Kadarius Marshall is all over that. Then on the next play, watch this. The handoff to Marshall. He bounces to the outside. Stiff arms the defender. Said, get off me, bro. 31 yards into the end zone, and the Kangaroos hop out to a 7-0 lead. Then, after a Waco high punt, the handoff is back to Marshall, 22 yards up the middle, untouched into the end zone, making it look easy. PAT no good. It's 13-0. Second quarter, Brandon Fox on the keeper, straight to the pylon. Keep hopping, KILLEEN. It's 20-0 in halftime. KILLEEN finishes the season on a good note, winning 37-7.
Good to see my man Brandon Fox in for the touchdown. All right, over in Class 5A, University closed out the regular season against Midlothian. They fall tonight 47-13. We're just getting started right here on FNL. When we come back, we're going to dive right into Class 4A. Stay with us.
What a night.
It is so far.
Night.
This week's Game of the Week is sponsored by Baylor Scott and White Health.
All right, let's go back out to Nikki Lattarillo at Leo Buckley Stadium with one of the heroes of tonight's game. Nikki?
Sneak in? All right. We're sneaking in.
Hey guys, so I'm here with our Week 11 Game of the Week champions, Shoemaker Grey Wolves. Give it up for the Shoemaker Grey Wolves. They are our Game of the Week champions. They're very hyped. And I'm here with Coach Foreman. Coach, here is the trophy for the Game of the Week.
Watch out.
Let's get it.
All right, Coach, this game, absolutely insane. Harker Heights, got to give it to them. They started coming back. What does it say about your team to fight till the absolute very end?
Well, I feel like we're in overtime every week, and it's a close game every week, but these kids are resilient, and I told them after the game, 2.5 years ago, we started from the bottom, and now here we are.
And going into this game, now you don't have to go onto the road. You have hosting the first round of the playoffs potentially. What does that mean for your confidence going into the playoffs?
Well, we don't exactly know. We could possibly be still playing on the road, but it doesn't matter. I told them earlier, we'll play on the moon. We're just ready to go take that next step, which is go into the playoffs and take care of our business.
Congratulations. And quarterback Ty Bell here, my first ever player of the week. I knew he was a good one from the start. Ty, what is this like right now? What is this environment like for you?
I don't even know. It's the best feeling in the world to know all these people fought hard. We fought hard all season. Hey, man, we lied. Hey, I love this team to death, man. I'm happy we make it. Hey, we going to state, baby. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say.
All right. And right here, Devin scored the winning touchdown. What is that like for you?
It felt great. Yes, sir, D. Brown.
Come on, what was that feeling like?
It felt great. Felt good. Felt like a game winner.
And what do you feel like going into playoffs now? What is your confidence like?
Great. I feel confident that we're going to get the dub every week.
All right,
One game at a time.
All right, guys, you heard it here first. They're going to state, they say. I have faith in this team. Reporting from Leo Buckley Stadium, I'm Nikki Lattarillo, 6 Sports.
All right, hey, listen, Coach Foreman said he don't care where he's going to play. He might play on the moon, he might play on Mars, it doesn't matter.
It's a man who called a shot at the beginning of the year, and they just did it.
All right, we'll see you back after the break. All right, welcome back. Let's drop down to Class 4A, where China Spring needed to beat Brownwood by at least 14 points for a three-way tie for second place in 5-4A Division 1.
If that happened, there'd be a three-way coin toss. You know, classic to decide seeds 2 through 4. Just like we all figured, Brownwood had all it had to do was win or lose by less than 14. They're the 2 seed. That pushes China Spring down to the 4.
All right, let's go out to Cougar Stadium. Packed house. There's the band. There's the fans. Here we go. Cougars were rolling late in the first quarter, getting deep into Brownwood territory, but guess what? They would have to settle for a field goal here. But wait! Uh-oh! Doink! Like Cody Parkley from the Chicago Bears in the playoffs. No good, so it remains scoreless. Next Cougar drive, Braden Faulkner pitches it out to KJ Peoples. He's going to turn the quarter. Nice gain right there. And then the Cougars have something going here. Another pitch to Peoples. Yeah, he can beat his man all the way to the corner. Touchdown, Cougars. Let's go to the big board here because it was all Brownwood in this one. 41-14, your final.
To Willie Williams Stadium, where La Vega could wrap up yet another outright district championship with a win over Gatesville tonight. Let's just go ahead and spoil it. They did. Gatesville early on, you're going to see, loses his footing while he's making that throw. Marcus Willis. Beautiful interception. He's got reservations for 6. It's 7-0 Pirates in the first. Then La Vega's Jordan Rogers here picks up the fumble, and he's going to take off. Watch this. He's going to make a nice little return, gets into Gatesville territory.
Nice.
That's going to set up on a few plays later. That would be Landry Kinney to Malachi Wright. What a throw, what a catch. 14-0 at that point, 59-0 La Vega. The Eagles nest in Salado. The Eagles and the Eagles battling for the 3 seed tonight as Salado meets Fairfield. Hutton Hare hands it to Reed Vincent, gets stopped at the 1-yard line. No problem though, because on the next play, Hare finishes it off. 28-21, Salado leads at that point. Then Fairfield trying to get some momentum going later in the second half. They would hand it to Jermichael Hudson. He gets taken down. Salado wins this one. They're going to be the 3 seed. I have a hot take. They're the second best number 3 seed in the state.
No doubt about that. Number 2, Connally looking to wrap up a perfect season, taking on the Rockets from Robinson. Cadets got off to a fast start. Kavion Gaither, he was unbelievable tonight. Calls his own number, gets around a couple of blockers. He's going to rumble 28 yards for a Connally first down.
He just said, get off me, bro.
Yeah. Next play, it's Gaither again, this time around the right side. 19 yards later, he's in for the touchdown looking like Al Bundy and Polk High. They got the same colors, blue. Rockets would answer, though. Tyler Bennett takes the handoff, blows past everybody. He gets tackled after a gain of 24. The Rockets would end up scoring a few plays later. So Cadets go back to work on offense. Gaither pulling a Barry Sanders against the New England Patriots. You'll see it on YouTube, just juking out that poor defender. 24 yards and a first down. Then a few plays later, Javion Sunday, our former player of the week, scores from 3 yards out. 13-7 at that point. It was all Cadets at this one, 41-26.
That is just the 3rd time in school history Connally has finished a regular season 10-0. Congratulations to the Cadets. Mejia goes into the playoffs as the 2 seed, 47-24. They get a win in Lorena. All right, our Battle of the Bands winner this week. It was an interesting story. It was Clifton and Rogers. Again, we considered for Game of the Week.
But here's a good thing, though. Over 2,000 people voted.
Right. One of the best voting turnouts of the year. Thank you to the viewers for that one. Well,
Clifton won. Actually won by like less than 50 votes.
Yeah, it was a close one.
But tonight.
But there was no Clifton band at Merck Field. Congratulations, Clifton. We will get you your trophy at some point.
Yeah.
They also got a huge result tonight, and we'll show you those highlights online.
Yeah, app, online, everything else. We'll see you on Facebook Live coming up in just a bit.
Friday Night Lights is brought to you by Baylor Scott and White Health.
All right, welcome back to our live stream portion. Nick Canizales alongside Curtis Quilla, Nikki Latarillo. We'll see her in just a second because our game of the week, incredible.
The best one of the year, I would say.
No doubt about that. You know, the best thing is the road team, there was no road team in this one because two teams played at the home turf. Let's go out there. Shoemaker knocking off Harker Heights in overtime, 27-21. Nikki Latarillo, hey, that team was fired up. You were fired up. How about that game tonight, huh?
Guys, I'm sorry. I was very fired up at the end of that. I was in the end zone jumping up and down for both teams. But I have to say, so Belton lost, so Harker Heights is regardless going to be into the playoffs anyway. But I've never seen, it wasn't like a huge comeback because it was only 14-0, but that was a huge comeback. They had the longest throw into the end zone for a touchdown, and then they had another touchdown, and it was just like both teams were going back and forth. You knew this one was not going to end in regulation because there was so much fight in both teams, and that's just the playoff environment. This place was also, Harker Heights' student section was so rowdy, and then Shoemaker's student section started getting so rowdy, and it just felt like they were both wanting to go to the playoffs so bad. So I'm really actually happy that both teams are going to get to go because both teams deserve it. They played amazing. And Coach Foreman said that, you heard him say that they started from the bottom and now they're here. And they were so excited, and I just loved. I think that's our best game of the week for sure.
About that, I mean, this makes it, you know, we talked about going in there. All they had to do was take care of business, and then Harker Heights, you know, they had more of the easier road because...
Yeah, Heights did have the easier road. They were the only one in control of their own destiny because Belton was not only at the mercy of Midway tonight, they were also at the mercy of Shoemaker.
Yeah, you know, hey, what did Coach Foreman and those players, you know, they talked about, hey, they want to go to state, but, I mean, this is by far their best season in a very long time.
Yeah, Devin Brown, I think that was his name, the one that scored the winning touchdown, they were so excited for him. They were like, this is like our team there. You could tell their chemistry is so close, especially because a lot of them are seniors and they've been on this team when it wasn't good at all. And now just being able to come together and be this good, this is like a team that, I mean, I came in here not knowing much about any team, but you could tell from the beginning. I remember when they had that big win when Ty was my player of the week, you guys were saying that this is going to be a great team, like an underdog team. And they're, especially in this division or this district, to come out and be this good, it's really incredible. And Coach Foreman said, he was like, I'm so proud of these guys. They've worked so hard for this. So now I'm excited to see what they're going to do in the playoffs. And even Harker Heights, I'm excited to see what they're going to do in the playoffs too.
Oh.
This is I mean, Nikki, you got to see this Heights defense in person. Finally, I'm not the only one of the three of us that's gotten to see it in person. What were your thoughts on the Heights defense? Because to me, it's probably the best D in that district.
Yeah, and even the first two touchdowns that Shoemaker got, they weren't easy touchdowns. Like, it took a lot of drives for them to get to the end zone. And you could see that Ty was having a hard time at a lot of the game because he kept getting stopped. And their line is really great. Their defense is so great. And they even had a really good interception in the end zone. It didn't end up amounting to anything. But that defense is definitely lethal. And I think in the playoffs it's going to help them out a lot because their offense is also really explosive.
That's a defense that's going to get tested next week.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Nikki Ladd, we'll see you at the end of the show for your player of the week.
Yes.
All right, let's drop down to Class 3A, 10-3A, Division I.
Another
Cameron
mess.
Yo. Now look, Cameron Yo would clinch this, the #2 seed with the win over Lago Vista tonight.
But if Lago wins by 15 or more, guess what? It's coin flip time in Milam County.
Yeah, giant mess. Let's go out to Lago Vista Stadium. Could the Yeomen finish the regular season 9-1? All right. Hard to trick him here. Well-designed play by Zachorian Spikes. Came down with a nice interception right there. He had a nice return on that play, but it wouldn't lead to anything. So here comes Lago. Quarterback right down the middle. In for the touchdown. 35 yards, and that keeper put in the red zone. They were pounding that ball all night long. But as we go to the big board, Cameron Yo. They did enough to win, and they won by 10, 45-35, rolling into next week.
Down to Division II, a win by #4 Rogers would lock up the #1 seed in 8-3A Division II and clinch just the school's 5th 10-0 regular season. Tonight's honorary captain, state rep Hugh Shine. Opening drive for Rogers, 5th play of the game. Heath Schiller dumps it off to Joshua Minor. He does the rest, somehow avoids going down, stays in bounds by a miracle. 65 yards at 7-0, less than 2 minutes in. Ensuing Clifton drive. Handoff to reigning district MVP Riley Perry. He's dropped in the backfield by Minor, forcing 4th and goal, but the Cubs would not score. After a Rogers 3-and-out, Brandon Berger from 15 calls his own number to the end zone. 7-7 at that point. Look at this. Clifton does it. They beat Rogers, forced the point differential 3-way tie, and Rogers drops to the number 3 seed. We'll speak to Coach Caniford in a moment.
The most dangerous 3 seed in the entire state of Texas.
Yes,
all right,
sir.
scores around Class 3 at Whitney. They are just rolling. They're a really good team, 56-7 over
They're a 2 seed, too. That boggles my mind.
West, big winners tonight at Teague, 49-20.
That gives West the 3 seed.
Jarrow, no score. It's still 17-7, so we don't have an update on that. Hamilton up big on Florence, 42-21.
That will send Hamilton to the playoffs as well.
Also, Rockdale, they're rolling 53-7 over Academy.
And so Rockdale will get the 3 seed out of 10 3A Division I. So if we're looking at the 3A Division I playoff matchups, Rockdale will face Grandview again in the first round.
That's deadly.
Whitney will play Lago Vista. Cameron Yo will play, doing math. They will play West. And then Teague has Teague scrimmage Troy at the beginning of the season. Do you think Donnie Osborne wants to play Troy again?
Not right now. Not right now. All right, let's go.
They will.
Hey, Bosqueville, they can lock up a number 3 seed with the win over Axtell tonight. Axtell down big in the second quarter. They put it up, and it's picked off by Bulldog defensive back Hayden Stanford, no relation to Mike Stanford, our creative services director. And the Bulldogs quickly capitalize. Luke Bradshaw hooks up with Ryder Ward for 50 yards in that bomb. Look at that guy. Puts on the brakes. He's in. Bulldogs up by 26 right now. The offense not done yet. Dwight McDonald fights for the tough yards, and he's setting up the dogs. Look at that. Keeps on turning those legs. McDonald going to finish the job, running between the tackles. Look at that. Survives that big hit right there. And then Connor, he's going to take the handoff, splits the defenders, in from 20 yards out for the touchdown. All Bosqueville in this one, 55-6 the final.
Let's go to RIESEL, Fair Park Field. The Indians need a win over Italy to force at least a point differential tiebreaker. The Indians could jump from 4 to 3. Jaden Saxon throws a long pass for Colt Horn, and that's going to be a Gladiator touchdown. It's 12-7 RIESEL at that point in the first quarter. So here we go. It's going to be the handoff to Austin Searcy. He's Mr. Do Everything for that RIESEL offense. Bounces to the outside, gets a big block, and gets inside Gladiator territory. Then, here we go. Italy strikes in the second quarter. That's a long TD run from Jaden Barr, 14-12 Italy at that point. And Italy wins 58-32. That locks it up. Bosqueville 2, Italy 3, RIESEL 4. Number 7, Holland, looking to wrap up one of the best seasons in school history with a win over Milano, and the Hive is buzzing in 2A Division I. It's 36-0. Zane spin, watch this, untouched, easy, into the end zone, calls his own number.
In the spin cycle.
It is 43-0 at that point, 9 yards on that touchdown. Then after another Milano fumble, spin over the middle for Logan. Man, watch this. He drags the defender down to the 3. Then on the next play, it's Tommy Strickland. Love for the lineman. 3 yards into the end zone. PAT attempt, though. It's blocked. Watch Milano pick it up, return it 90 yards to the house. That's how the Eagles get on the board. And that's the only points they get. 69-2, Holland wins.
All right, District 13, 2A Division II. IOLA makes the playoffs with the win over Bartlett, and the Bulldogs get off to a hot start, though. Blake Driver gives it to Curtis Landry. Nobody's stopping the big man. That close to the goal line, that gives Iola the early lead. So let's check out some defense now. Bartlett trying to move that football in the air, but Spencer Quaylen is there to pick it off. Another big play here for the big man. Look at that. Coaches, get out of the way. We can't even see. We see him score. Look at that. Everybody's going wild. Then from there, Driver does it himself. The senior quarterback turns on cruise control, eases his way into the end zone. And how about this? Iola wins in a shootout, 52-42. All right, Curtis, hey, let's go out to Chilton. Pirates squared off against Granger. We'll pick it up third quarter. Chilton leading 14-12. So I told a few fans that were on the track, hey, Chilton's going to take the opening kickoff to start the third, 80 yards for a touchdown. That's exactly what they did. Look at this guy rumble down the sidelines, follow his blocks, looking like Devin Hester in his prime.
What a return.
But guess what, though?
There's a flag.
Personal foul, bring it back. Pirates go to work on offense. Misdirection on the handoff. Picks up 12 yards and a Chilton first down. Then later, You'll see it roll to your right. Nice pass right there. Gain of 13, another first down. Then they would punch it in on the old quarterback sneak. This game was pretty good. Chilton. They would fall, though, 25-21. Wow.
So Chilton will get the 3 seed out of that district. That's a big win for Granger, but Chilton can make some noise as well. The other scores from around 2A, Itasca falls to Moody, 27-22. Hearn gets a win on Rosebud Lot, 34-18 to end the year. Thorndale beats Marlin 55-20, and Mart does what Mart does. They hold somebody to 1 score in district play, 40-7. They're rolling into the playoffs. Wortham falls to Dawson, 28-12. That means Dawson's the 2 seed, Wortham's the 3. Hubbard wins the battle for the bottom spot in District 11, 2A Division 2, 47. Then Aquila on top of Abbott, 49-44. Covington over Golson, 47-6.
All right, let's go to our coach's corner here because this is a big one.
This really
is. This guy on the line.
He made some noise tonight.
Tell him about it.
He made some noise because here's what happened. In 8-3A Division 2, if Rogers beats Clifton, that locks it up. The winner of Hamilton and Florence gets the 4 seed. Clifton's the 3, Lexington the 2, Rogers the 1. Well, Clifton just went in. They didn't care. And they just beat Rogers, 9-0 Rogers. And now, Coach, Coach Chuck Caniford's on the line with us tonight. Coach, you guys get a big win on the road tonight. You lock up the 2 seed for your guys tonight. What did you see that you liked?
Well, I think number one thing, we played really, really hard. Our kids had a great week of preparation and just came out and played hard the whole night. Overcame some early adversity and, came out with a win against a really good football team.
Coach, how do you carry this momentum into next week's playoffs here? Because the boys are fired up, the confidence level is sky high. How do you carry this momentum going into next week?
Well, actually, we've been talking about it for a couple of weeks now that we're just trying to get ready for the first round of the playoffs. And, that's really been our mentality. We've got to continue that. We know that we're going to enjoy this for about 24 hours. We've got to move on, ready for it.
This is one of those. Wins that you guys can use to. Did you feel like it built some confidence when you got into the locker room after the game, going out and proving that you got that a couple of early season losses don't change anything. That you guys are still a really good team, and you just took down a really good team tonight.
Well, I think one thing we've lost good football. We went for 2 up at Godley on the road to try to get the win, and lost a 1-point game. We lost to a good Crawford team, and then lost to go to Lexington. And those are all things that we were able to learn from. We've had some adversity with injuries throughout the year, and our kids have overcome it. Really proud of the guys who have stepped in to fill those holes for those guys that we lost.
Coach, let me ask you, you guys you don't shy away from competition. You guys played a tough non-district schedule. Of course, your district is brutal as it is. What did playing those games do to help you guys going into the playoffs? Because you're going to see teams like that week in and week out now.
And that's really why we do what we do. We never talk about our overall record. Not a goal for us. And all of our goals start when we get in the playoffs. So if we can play guys going to be playoff teams that'll help us get ready, that's what we want to do. And I think you're seeing those things pay off for us here the last couple of weeks, and we just got to keep that going next week.
Coach, I've seen your guys a couple of times this year. I was up there at practice back in August. This is a hungry bunch. What is it about this group of seniors, this returning experience? Reigning district MVP Riley Perry, Mason Brandenberger back under center. This is a team that knows what the streak is in Clifton. What is it about this upperclassmen group that makes this team so special and so dangerous once next week gets here?
Well, I think the guys have played together since they were 7th graders. They've won a lot of football games. They've been in a lot of playoff teams, and they understand what it takes to be successful. And one of the things that they talked a lot about is how bad that hurt last year, losing to Holiday overtime in the second round. And so they've used that pain to kind of fuel them, and I'm excited what they do over the next couple of weeks.
When you sit back and look at your team, how much did they improve from August during two-a-days up until now to this point? Because now you have some of those kids that have stepped up, that didn't have the experience. They stepped up, has played big roles for you guys. How much have your team improved over the last few months here?
It's been tremendous, and it's early into the fact that, like you said, we've got the young guys, but also the fact that we've lost some key players to injury, and we've had guys have to change roles, different things. that we didn't expect them to have to do early in the year, and they've just continued to get better and better. And tonight we played probably one of our best games all year. That's encouraging for those folks.
Well, Coach, we really appreciate you taking some time to talk with us tonight. Be careful on the bus ride home tonight. Congratulations on an enormous win for your guys tonight. Best of luck next week. We will see you Friday night in Waxahachie, sir.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
There he goes, Chuck Caniford, the head coach of the Clifton Cubs. They will be playing Friday night. They haven't determined a kick time yet. That game will be in Waxahachie. Going into the night, he said they had 4 possible opponents. I'm not a math expert right now.
Yeah.
So we know where they're playing. We know the day. We'll get a time as soon as we can on KCENTV.com.
That's a big win, though. Big win, especially for the confidence level of these boys.
It's a statement win, too.
Yeah, it is a statement win, especially going into next week. All right, let's go over to TAPS, huh?
I love some private school football. How about this? Central Texas Christian, HALLETTSVILLE Sacred Heart out at Frazee Field today. Sacred Heart in the first. Austin Kutak tosses to Dalton Grammon for the touchdown. 7 up Sacred Heart. Centex Christian's Andrew Lang here gets the ball for a short gain, gets brought down, then Sacred Heart gets the ball. They're marching again. This time it's Austin Kutak. Gets it to Lane Leppold, for another touchdown. Indians go up on the line 17-0 at the half, 30-7 Sacred Heart in the fourth.
All right, let's go to some scores here because Riker on the road taking on Bourne Geneva School, and they get rocked tonight. 68-14 is your final in this one.
Geneva is a reigning state runner-up. That's understandable, but that is not the result you want to go into the postseason on for Riker.
Not at all. All right, let's go back to Nikki Lattarulo because she's got her Gridiron Player of the Week, and this guy is a monster from Bosqueville. I had a chance to talk with him on Wednesday, and I'll tell you what, he was running wild last Friday.
Hey guys, so yes, Blaine Reynolds is my player of the week for week 10. He had 5 touchdowns and set a new school record in, unfortunately they didn't win against Bruceville Eddy, but tonight they won, so they are going to the playoffs. Take a look at this kid, he's just a sophomore.
The Bosqueville Bulldogs go into the last regular season game with an impressive 3-2 district record. And while they weren't able to capitalize over Bruceville Eddy last Friday night, Blaine Reynolds did everything he could.
I really do think that the whole team has improved. The offensive line is doing fantastic right now. Like I said, the holes are opening up. They're doing what they need to do, and it's just real easy for me to get down in there and just pound the ball on the ground.
The sophomore broke a school record with 42 carries for 341 yards and 5 touchdowns, scoring 30 of the Bulldogs' 39 total points.
Remember, the holes opened up really nice. Line was doing fantastic. Couldn't have done it without them. Just running like it was my last game.
I don't remember him running that far. I mean, I couldn't do it. So, I mean, I'm really proud of him. I'm proud of the guys blocking for him, and I'm glad that we had a monster like him back there.
Now, this performance is not a rare occurrence for the running back. This season alone, he's run for over 1,300 yards.
You know, he's explosive. You know, for one thing, he's got almost 1,000 yards in our 5 district games. He's just under 1,000 yards for those games, about 1,300 for the season. And when there's a hole, he's going to find it, and he runs hard.
And with the final regular season game coming up, Reynolds and his teammates think that with the momentum from this performance carrying over, they're all in and ready for the playoffs.
Axtell's going to be a big game. Confidence-wise and momentum-wise, we're just going to go out there, play our hardest, and then get ready for playoffs.
It's all about getting a big win at home for one last time.
Yeah, and it was senior night at their game tonight, so they got the win over Axtell. I think the score was 55-6. So they're going to the playoffs, and I'm excited to see what Blaine's going to do because he's only a sophomore. So he has 2 more years left in the playoffs this year, so that team is great. And it's just a great – Central Texas has some great football this year. I'm excited for the playoffs.
They've got a big one next week. I'm excited.
Congratulations goes out to head coach Clinton Zander. He's such a great guy. Nikki, you and Ryan fight. Be safe on the ride home. We'll see you tomorrow on TV.
Guys, it's so cold out here. My fingers are numb.
Well, that's your fault for not bringing gloves.
You're from the Northeast. You should be used to it, right?
Come on now.
I'm from the North. I can handle it. Just my pinky's frozen. It's creeping me out.
Well, you know what? You better go stick it in the heater and
be careful. We'll see you. We'll see you tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow. All right. You have some big news.
I do.
Right now.
Crawford and Bosqueville will play in the first round, and that is game of the week material if I've ever seen it. Former district rivals that are basically right across the Waco Metro from each other. They're going to face off in the first round because Crawford is the 2 seed out of District 7 2A Division I behind the buzzsaw that is San Saba, ranked number 3 in the state. Bosqueville is the 3 seed out of probably the deepest district in this region in 2A Division I, because let's face it, District 7, there's a little bit of a drop-off after Crawford. Not much of one, because Valley Mills is really, really good. There's a little bit of a drop-off, though. District 8, 1 through 4, any of them can beat anybody next week.
I can't wait to talk with Delbert Kelm to see what he has to say about going up against an old district foe, because I love Coach Kelm, I love Coach Zander, 2 great guys. They've been in the postseason many, many times, so you're not going to fool anybody. And it's all about stopping that Crawford Pirates running game, because they fool us night in and night out with their funky style of offense, that wishbone and misdirection, all other stuff. So
they do, and we've been texting coaches the entire time during the show looking for playoff info. We have 2 that we would like to share. We know Mejia is going to play Bullard in the first round. Frank Sandoval tells us they are still working to set up that game information. We know Rogers, the now 3 seed out of District 8 3A Division II, will play Friday night at Mac Peoples Stadium in Lacey Lakeview at Connally. Beautiful facility Connally has now. They put a lot of money into it in the offseason, so they're going to play there Friday night.
That's the most dangerous
of course
3 seed in the state of Texas.
Yeah, and we said, when I said Salado was second, that's because Rogers is probably number 1. So Connally will play Thursday night, 7 p.m. in Corsicana against Canton in the first round. Again, Connally, just the 3rd time in school history they've gone 10-0 in the regular season. That is an amazing feat. The Cadets, who are somehow preseason ranked, were your
they were my dark horse, I felt, because, yeah, they're not dark horse anymore. They're number 2 in the state of Texas. They have so many guys that are legit, and even the guys that are good, and even the guys that are, they just, some of them know their role. They're just all around a solid team. And whenever the starters go out, the second string comes in and picks up where they left off.
The other one is Troy will face Teague Thursday night, 7:30 kickoff at Waco ISD Stadium. Waiting on text back from several other coaches as we get that information. If you can follow me on Twitter, you can follow him on Twitter, you can follow KCEN Sports. We will get you that information. We will try to get it up on KCENTV.com as well. A question I will pose to you. Okay. The answer has to be somebody who's a 3 or a 4 seed. Who is the most dangerous 3 or 4 seed from our area that is not Rogers or Salado?
The most dangerous 3. I'll let Shoemaker. Shoemaker's been playing really well.
Now, if they get to host, now the reason we say if, normally the 1 seed in the 6A bracket or the 5A bracket does host in the first round. Here's the problem. Shoemaker would play Mesquite, and both of them finished 3rd in district. Last year in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metro, there was a 6A game in the first round. It was 2 teams who had identical finishes in district, but one was the 1 seed in the division, the other one was the 2. At that point, they played at a neutral, so we don't have a 100% answer on where they're going to play that Shoemaker game until Toby Foreman texts us and say, here's where it is.
It could either be late tonight, could be tomorrow.
Could be Sunday.
Yeah, it could be Sunday. You don't know just yet. Who do you like? Who's a team that's kind of came out of nowhere? And,
a team that I'm going to give 2 answers. One is Harker Heights. That is the best. That defense contained Will Nixon. That defense contained Temple. That defense contained an explosive Ellison team, an explosive Belton team. That defense is legit. It's going to face its best individual athlete of the year next week in Jackson Smith and Jigba and Rockwall.
Yeah, he's solid.
But that Rockwall running game is really good too. So I think if there is a defense that can compete in the playoffs, it is the Harker Heights defense. The other one that has come out and surprised me a little bit is Mejia for the same reason. That defense is suffocating. I don't want to be Bullard.
Not at all.
Points are at a premium.
And listen, and Mejia can put up some points too.
They can.
They can. So this is going to be an incredible week next week. I mean, we might see a team or 2 that goes maybe 4 or 5 rounds deep that we didn't peg in August.
Yeah.
That's how good that our area teams have been. Since I've been here in 2012, we've had a team win state, I think, every single year.
Yeah.
every single year.
I think every year I've been here, we've had multiple win state.
Yeah.
And this is my 4th football season. It's tremendous football here. Mom, if you're watching, you hit the nail on the head when I moved up here to Temple. You said the football here is really good. For those of you who don't know, my mom went to Coppers Cove. I got to say, though, if I was a betting man and I was trying to pick, see, he's texting coaches now, too.
Yep.
If I was a betting man trying to pick, if I was going to look at teams and say, I think these teams could go to AT&T Stadium, the one that's flying under the radar is Holland. They're playing really good
Holland Hornets
football.
are really solid.
The only reason people aren't talking about them is they're in the same region. Now, I'd say nobody's talking about them. There's actually a lot of buzz around them. The problem is also they're in 2A Division I Region 4 with number 1 Refugio, number 2 Shiner, and I think it's number 8 Mason.
Yeah, the little punchers.
That's going to be a fun run to watch. Brad Talbert, if you're watching, I'm excited to see what you guys can do.
Well, I want to say huge congratulations goes out to my alma mater, Port Neches Groves, for defeating our rival, the Nederland Bulldogs. They won tonight at Bulldog Stadium. I love it. I get to roast all my Nederland friends. And also, we got a thriller. 30 seconds left to go. Baylor basketball down 66-64 because Washington went on an 18-5 run to pretty much kind of close the game here. So.
And the Lady Bears won big.
Yeah, Lady Bears won like 120 to like.
They actually did something tonight that even the national championship squad last year never did. They scored 60.5 on Grand Point.
That's incredible. But next week, here we go. By-district round. The road to AT&T Stadium starts, and we'll be all around here to cover it. So. For Curtis Quill and Nicky Laterillo, Nick Canizales, for everybody, thank you for watching. We got 2 more Friday Night Lights left. We'll see you next week under the lights. Week 1 of the playoffs.